Right, hello everyone, it's Michi Hoyer here from Avid Chronic Racing, and today we're going to do a little bit of the Formula E event hosted by rFactor 2, and this includes also showing you guys how to get on there. So all you basically need to race in that Formula E competition, which is held on rFactor 2 until I think Sunday afternoon, 12 a.m. Well, it's noon. I get mixed up around with that AM and PM stuff. So gonna be live until 12 or noon in midday on Sunday. And everything you need to join it is a Steam account, obviously, and you need to hit the address called rFactor2. Well, you can read it there, rFactor2.studio-397.com/competition. That's everything you need. The index and the overview is going to be added automatically to the URL. Then you need to click this sign in via Steam. You then need to register yourself or log in with your Steam account. Then you can choose a competition, which in this case will be the Formula E energizing thing. And from then on, you're gonna hit this little screen. So what's the current event about? It's called the Formula E Energize Pole Time event. And from the description, you always will be able to see what kind of stuff's going on. So here we take on a lap on the HKT Hongkong E-Prix ahead of the race this weekend. So not only you can win some pretty awesome Formula E related prizes, getting into the top 3, but the nearest time to the quali time 1 and quali time 2 times will receive something very cool. So I think that could be anything or anyone around in this competition. Probably the guy that gets there most closely. And it runs since November 29th, since 6 p.m. That's all GMT, I think. And will end on December 3rd at noon. So looking to the full standings, 66 persons or 66 drivers already being into it. Currently being P13 here. Definitely want to try to get into the 101 lap times and therefore get into the top 10 tonight. I mean, looking at the lap times on the board, it's massively fast, I have to say. Anyway, that means we return to the summary, and what you definitely need to know about this is that you need to have the build rFactor 2 build 1109, so the latest one being available either on DX9 or DX11. Then you have to click join session, and then there is the message that the Steam client with rFactor 2 will start as soon as you have Steam open. But before I do that, I quickly go on my wheel because I think, yep, I need to do it every single time I'm going to race. That's a bit annoying, I have to say. Anyway, so we close that little window and we tap on the Steam icon, and there goes the that little window. So rFactor tries to start with the here seen parameters, and then you get an IP and an internal password, and I would really recommend you guys to not learn them by heart because they change every single time. It's just like on SRS, so the sim racing system, where you join according to whatever is your according to your race entrance, and also some other stuff going on that will automatically get you on a server selected by the game or by the system itself. They're currently waiting on rFactor to launch. I hope I am on the right version at the minute because I keep going back and forwards. Yes, I am. So latest content going to be in. I quickly wanna have a little look back to the standings at the minute. In a practice session on an older track, not on an older track, but on the day before this competition started, I was able to do a high 109, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting this again. Anyway, seems like finally the game is about to start. I'm sorry about all these delays going on towards that stream. Like, just usually if you run late for once, gonna hop in, turn the computer on, and suddenly it says Windows update, and then you're gonna be here a sitting duck waiting for the updates to be finished. Nevertheless, finally we're there. So going with Mahindra here. I've just randomly picked a car once and stick with it. Loading the track. I hope I'm gonna be alright because currently I'm running it on maximum graphical settings. On DX9 though. However, I just hope to be fine in terms of the FPS and everything. So if you guys have any questions related to that competition, related to that car, related to that track, feel free to ask. I definitely going to try to answer most, if not all of them. So as you can see, massive content, very much details already there in the loading screen. Hey Martin, why you can't buy the content on the Steam website? Because you don't have a credit card or neither PayPal account to load money in? That's only me being guessing. So yeah, lately this is an awful amount of timing where I need to wait until the game has loaded all the content, all the necessary pictures and stuff. It's a very fun circuit though. Um, yeah, that was expected, Martin. All this credit card stuff going on sometimes is very, very disappointing. As I'm very disappointed as well from the performance of this loading going on here. Like, I know that it's gonna take some time the very first time you join a track in a combination together with display settings. But right now it's just ridiculous. Anyway, probably just going to be another few seconds before we are ready to then hit the track and finally do some racing. There you go. So even being on the lobby already, it takes ages to the game to load. I don't really know what's going on at the minute. Right now it seems like I'm being booted. which, if it is the case, would be a shame. Yeah, the server never received your Steam ID. Probably the server restarted while me being there on air. Just took the thing way too long. So I quickly redo that process. There you go. rFactor 2 is going to reload again. And hopefully this time server then will recognize my ID. This is working by Steam ID, so not by the actual in-game name. So you can be called whatever you want to be called. But in the background, rFactor 2 is checking with your Steam ID and together with your registration. Which is quite a different thing compared to what happened on the Vegas E-Race, where you were linked to a system and the system was looking at your in-game name file located in the Windows local app data thing. So I think that's the better option. Obviously it threw me off the first time, but I do think that this time around it's a lot better, as at least I can go load my standard setup. With that, I want to go and have a look, and as I expected it to be, FPS drops are quite massive, and I think there will be some stuttering going on, so I have to restart that server thing with a lot less FPS. Yeah, because it's going me absolutely mental about it. So I go settings, take down a lot of things not necessarily needed at the minute, go backwards, go exit, and do that process from all over again. There you go. Hey guys, happy you guys joined me in here at Shimmy and XRPM. I'm happy you be here together with my ACR related guys. Wish you all a pleasant weekend. So it's the first, I think, non-racing weekend apart from Formula E, which will have its opening weekend right now. And well, it's actually a great thing, isn't it? So when a Formula One and any other relevant racing series is doing winter break, Formula E turns on. Despite whether you like it or not, I mean, it's a fair bit of racing, and there's some action and activity going on, especially with the activities being done for the fans. So that's kind of great stuff. On which we will see how it evolves. Not too sure whether I got a lower graphical settings. Yes, I got. That's a lot better. Yeah, so am I. I was a little bit skeptic at the beginning about this Formula E type thing. But meanwhile I enjoy it to be there because I think it gives some real interesting racing. So currently I got every plug-in turned off. Interesting stuff. This is so difficult. The car has become so difficult to drive with lower wings because those cars race lower wings when not being on hot lap or qualifying. But for this, probably you would need a little bit more downforce. You have added to the car right now. And then it's all about managing this massive torque in the back of the car. Especially you will see it around those hairpins, where the car mostly out accelerates sideways out of it. And the stupid thing about this car is that it, oh dear, behaves different every single time you approach a corner. Like right now, you saw me first understeering, and then the next turn you saw me oversteering a lot. So really difficult to drive these cars consistently, especially since they are very, very intense and difficult while braking. You may not see this from stream, but feeling the car, you either lock up front on the you either lock up on the front or you lock up on the rear, and sometimes you won't even be able to notice what exactly happens right now. So braking distance is some kind of valuable thing sometimes. Nice screen freeze. Probably too much braking performance on the front, and this now is too much braking performance in the back. So a lot of stuff going on. Just need to adjust my seat a little bit. Much more to my liking now. Very low railroad here. However, railroad is static, so that there is same chances for everyone, obviously. So probably I'm gonna be happy with a 103 in the beginning, since you need to really get used to the car going in again. No Scalino, this is no private session, it's a public session. I was a little bit surprised about that, but I mean, I was on there a bit yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and it was not private, so definitely interesting. Because obviously there were other drivers being a little bit slower than I was. And they were obviously then harming my lap times quite a bit. So doing a 103.5, slowly starting to get a better feel with the car, which then will result into more decent lap times.
That was a 1:03.76.
That was probably one of the worst turn ones ever. His understeering, oversteering at the same time put me into a very weird slide. Didn't get me anywhere in that way. And I've just touched the wall again. This chicane is so narrow. So as you can see, into that corner, and just some really fast guy has now entered that session. Because if I'm not mistaken, this guy currently is the second position, I think even. Have a quick look. Third position. Still not too bad, so we're definitely gonna give him a watch at some point. If he will drive, obviously. Anyway, looking at some improvements to the setup there. Not really even sure what will get me faster. But I'm trying. It's all about this try and do stuff, and very interesting. So he's out there already on a run. So I heard his car already being around somewhere. There you go. Racing a 500 ping though. Holy moly. So even more cars now appearing on the server. And you never really hit full throttle with those cars. There's so much to do about the what to do with lift and coast. Because the car tends to lock up quite early. I mean, the car itself and tires have very low grip. Suspension is not the best as well, so and I'm not speaking physics wise, I mean just from reality being. I think this car is spot on there. Very difficult to drive, that's for sure. Oh dear.
That was a 1:03.24.
So we're already running behind by 1/10 just from the first attempt. And we hit the inside of this curb too much, so we're gonna have a look on what this guy is doing differently compared to us. So I definitely give it a look on his 1 minute 2.3 and see how he did that. Oh, with so much lagging going on there. So probably he stays everywhere in second, even in those very low speed corners. And wing wise, he's definitely running very much wings. Well, I can't even say whether this guy is good or not. Definitely a lot of floating going on. So for now, I just can't see any real difference, and probably with him lagging so badly, it's pointless to watch and see any differences. But I mean, I'm not really going anywhere at the minute, since I'm even over 1 second off of my personal lap time. Oh dear. So easy to get the suspension destroyed there. So in first gear you definitely have a little bit more power, rather than staying there all in second. If I just, oh, for God's sake, I just leave it now, it's ridiculous otherwise. Yeah, the thing is about the entry speed towards that chicane, you need to carry as much speed, oh, the broken suspension, out of that chicane there. And, you know, coming out of turn 2, it's just like, you feel you could be able to do it. And then you come around that chicane thing and you can't. And not just that, I mean, you immediately feel to be super slow then when going too slow into it, but I will definitely try it a little bit more patiently. That was only like 20 or 30% of the brake pedal being pressed, and literally the front brakes immediately jam. That's actually a very good advice, Martin. And I'm trying to get it done. And I would just love to get the final turn done without touching any wall. Probably not the best way to do it either, but still not
That was a
too worse.
1:02.73.
Putting in a 102.7. A little bit too fast, touching that wall. Oh dear. Quickly get out of the way. Go. You definitely feel the tires being super cold and the brakes being super cold on your outlap. That's what makes it apparently very difficult. I cannot agree the front to lock up so badly, it's ridiculous. But now I can already feeling the rear locking up, so looking for the setting in between. Get some speed on your outlap and try to attack again. We're a little bit back on our time, which is clearly no surprise with that bad first corner. Maybe we can turn it around. As this final sector looks good so far. And
The lap was a 1:02.82.
interesting turn 1, but probably not the slowest one. So we definitely need to get a better third sector in, as we just saw now. Too much understeer. Anyway, with that we should improve a tiny little bit again.
That was a 1:02.59.
I'm not sure if this car was meant to be rallied around this turn. Probably not. And that's the rear tires being too hot and already too worn now. So you can literally press escape again. Needs to be one of the first second laps where you can hit the perfect lap time. It's interesting what you say, Martin. The point is, and probably right now, I'm gonna get that saved and get me um, a little helping device on here. Because I'm quite missing this little plugin I always use, Delta Best. I mean, I already feel what's being good or what's being fast or what's being slow. But obviously I do not know it that much as I can say, alright, I've done a good turn once and now I'm 2 or 3 tenths down. For trying different lines and trying different stuff, I prefer to have this timing bar running at the top. At Fly Show, this mod is in fact very weird, and I've already said it on another stream of yesterday that this rear needs a lot of fixing, especially when looking at the behavior in the hairpins, like you spin it around like rally style, a rally car, and everything. And to my liking, I can't say liking, but my understanding of a race car and understanding of this kind of car, that's just not right. So anyway, it is what it is right now. Probably for this round of the competition, there won't be any changes. Happily, I have to say I got on another server, which just has another 10 minutes more left in the session. Nevertheless, I probably need to go again. And to what Martin said about the braking, I would like to show you, and you are right, I can't even brake. Look, immediately as I push the brakes, it's half the brakes being turned on, and with that braking pad probably I got no chance whatsoever. So it's again a stream or day of stream with hardware issues, having this like every single time I do anything. I have to go check on the controller settings. Those are very wrong. So with this assistance to recalibrate everything, that's probably just standard Logitech stuff going on. Um, I can't really tell you why this is the way it is. But already again, the brakes being hit 50% as soon as I simply touch the brake pedal. And that doesn't help me to get anywhere. So, calibrating going on. So this time I keep it there and see if it works better. So probably that also explains the bad performance, but no, it doesn't whatsoever. You see, the part just comes on top immediately, and it has nothing to do with the sensitivity or anything. Only has to do with the wheel. I really need to think about something because that is so annoying. I can't even tell. Looks like now it works better. Yep, it does. And now it's just the wheels. Center spring being wrong. Oh, this is amazing stuff. As you can see, there's so much crap going on. Go, that fixed it. Now it's just the force feedback that's gone. Oh, you can't imagine how much issues you can have. Right. Just go without any force feedback whatsoever. Happily, the game didn't crash yet. No brake temperature at all at the beginning. So, yeah, we definitely found out about the reason why I kept locking up so badly there. Alright, that works a lot better. Apart from me being super stupid again. I want this wheel to be reattached because of that force feedback thing. I can see that it doesn't got me anywhere. Right? Interesting, isn't it? Every single time. Messing around with anything. Yeah, it was a good guess, Martin. I really have to say. This is annoying. Now I got the force feedback back. And I'm rejoining a crappy session. Dein Ernst? So finally rejoin. you want to go testing and do proper league racing, and you have to handle that sort of issues, I want to say. I can quickly show my FFB settings here on rFactor. That's about my settings. FFB smoothing 6, car specific mold 1, wheel range 380, and minimum torque on the FFB is 10%, and that's the thing that's causing the rattling there, Scalino. So you wanna have a look at that setting and change that. As I'm going out again with just some 13 minutes left on the session. Anyway, with the brakes being so cold, I miss that braking point every single time. Right, starting the first lap on this server then. Bad turn 1. Here's the delta best at the top, currently pointing to the fastest 0.5 lap we did. Can simply abort that lap because of bad performance.
The lap was a 1:05.15.
That was not too bad. Anyway, yeah, you have to be consistent. Despite the brake was broken before, it didn't feel too bad. Yeah, I fully agree, Martin. I just got the same impression now twice, as braking for turn 2 was very interesting, to say it that way. Right, so here we go. Was a good turn 1. I think the Delta Pass is already looking at the 0.5, the 1 minute 5 we did. So that's why we are massively green at the minute.
That was a 1:02.41.
But that's personal best of the day. So fixing the brake thing clearly did help. Now we just need to fix the driving, which hopefully isn't difficult. Interesting that you find ever recognizing names. Miguel Ballester was with me in this year's World Fastest Gamer Finals, where Martin Stefanko has been also. So it's interesting that you see the high level guys at any competition everywhere. Oh yeah, Martin, I'm very lucky to have you right now. Could qualify you to be my engineer for next year. How about that? Right, taking the speed. Do another proper lap, hopefully. Turn 1 hasn't been too bad. Yeah, I would have been super lucky to nail that final sector. So, oh. Looking at possibilities here in the last 5 minutes of both the stream and laps. We still do have some potential to go quicker. Going to the 109 would probably be handy. Oh, the cold brakes. Little flat spots in the tire from what I can feel. But we have some sand flying around here and there. Probably want to have good temperatures in the front. Because the temperatures in the rear can easily be gotten by letting the rear wheels spin. Now try gain speed. Too much understeer on the exit. Anyway, we can improve a little bit.
That was a 1:02.26.
So 102.26, and I want to get the fresh set of tires and maybe put in one final lap. A bit of a sad story, like this last sector wasn't too good. Maybe was a little bit too impatient on the final corner there. Or in the penultimate corner, which then led into a bad final one, you may say. Apart from that, I was pretty much happy with the lap. Could have gone a little bit faster around the now upcoming corner. You may now see it on the time delta. You go there a little bit slower, you gain, yeah, 2/10. Yeah, the only issue I had about the final corner was that I was going wide in that one. So if you stay more to the inside, you can take a wider line here and then get out with full speed. A little bit worse on turn 1 here. Too much understeer.
That was a 1:02.10.
Right. So a virtual PB of a 108.4, and you guys all saw where I lost it. That's slightly notch on one part of the wall. Anyway, we improved on that, and yeah, that's probably been it for the moment. Not sure whether it's been it for the weekend. However, I'm interested if I can. Yeah, call word for restart is disabled. Maybe we can do a final race. No, I think Miguel already left, so that's the case. Now we're gonna leave it here. Guys, I thank you very much for watching. Have a nice weekend for now. Not sure what's gonna be the program for it, but anyway, it was nice to do some stuff today. See you on the weekend. Have a nice weekend, and definitely stay tuned for Avid Chronic Racing pages for the next couple of days. There's some interesting stuff to come, so I only can encourage you to follow us. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a nice weekend.